Obviously, we're point guards love get downhill. A lot of players though, they think fast paces. They play fast paces being erratic. Going one speed downhill. They might cause some charges, turnovers, stuff like that. Give us a little insight from the point guard perspective of how important is like paces and playing at from fast to slow. Maybe you go fast here, you bring it out, and then you attack. You know what I'm saying? We give a little bit insight on how important just pace is in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think and we kind of play like this at my high school and in mates. Like we want to try and score in the first 4 seconds. So if that's either flying the ball up by pass or I'm getting the rebound or outlet and pushing up the floor, crossing the floor and just trying to see what the defense gives you, and just putting pressure on the rim. Um, and that's what you really want to do. Just as a point guard, getting into the paint, trying to get a paint touch, sinking the defense in and spraying it out to shooters, or if you got a duck in from a big like him, just really like I said, playing with pace and just seeing the floor. There's so many options when you push the pace and like I said, get 2 feet in the paint and putting pressure on the rim because the defense has to react to that, and you just make reads after that. So yeah, like you said, not playing at one pace is what you want to do in terms of like a guard and you're erratic. But it's more of just you're doing something and if somebody steps in and helps, his man's going to be open. That's a kick out three. If he doesn't, you got a basket. So just knowing what the reads are, especially as a point guard beforehand, and you just reacting on the fly, and you under control. Good things will happen.
I don't know if you probably went through this growing up just in levels, playing as like bigger, taller, stronger defenders. Obviously, when you were at prep and even probably even maybe at NMH, it was probably just easy for you to score. Me and Steve at RPI, obviously I like to score the ball, like what I'm saying, I like to get buckets too, but it got to a point where, guys are getting bigger and my coach, instead of asking me to score the ball, he wanted me to get 2 feet in the paint, like you kind of just said, and start maybe giving a dump down, maybe start kicking for threes. Have you had to deal with that as you start to play against older and bigger and just stronger players? Or if not, what was just like your mindset in terms of the scoring aspect as you got into like higher levels?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I was always kind of a pass first type of player, and it's kind of still been like my fault to this day where I'm too unselfish. My dad gets on me all the time about it, about being aggressive, and not that I'm not, but there's a lot of times where it's like I look to even pass and get an assist, or make the extra pass where I'll be open or something like that. But that's just how I've been playing my whole life, man. I really like to make the right basketball reads and plays, and just get my teammates involved. You probably could relate to this. Like scoring is great, but if you make a dime or a great read or a pass and they make it and you get an assist, like that feeling's low key better. And that's just being real. Some people think that it's like you say that and it's like you just saying that because
Yeah.
that you think most people want to hear, but it's true. Like I'd rather down somebody and they lay it up rather than me get the two. It's just a better feeling for me. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it wasn't really too much of a emphasis on my coaches when I got to college where I got a pass because I always
Mhm.
try to make the right read, right?
Mhm.
I know like what's right from wrong in terms of making the right play. But yeah, I mean that adjustment does happen a lot for a lot of players in college, where it's like you want to be aggressive, but you could be aggressive but make the right reads. You being aggressive will make the right read happen. So that's what I try to tell a lot of the young players too, where it's like somebody's telling you to pass, it's not more it's like you're not looking to score, but be aggressive. And if nobody, steps up and helps, then score. But when they do, you got to be able to make that pass. And that's what all basketball is on any level.
Mhm.